Hello, loves. Hello, it's Sonia G. It's the Moon Babes Monday Night Live. Let me pin a comment. Hello. Hello, loves. I'm picking out some incense while everybody jumps on. We're going to talk. We're going to finish our chat, and we're working with some vanilla, Tahitian vanilla, the essence of bliss incense tonight. It's gonna be good. So I'm waiting for everybody to jump on. Hello, hello. Hi, lovelies. Yay. I love that the earlier times actually work for all of you all over the planet. So I'm excited. I'm excited to finish this conversation that we started yesterday. That was so dramatic to get downloaded and on YouTube, but it happened. It happened. All right, should we begin by doing some breathing and getting grounded, and let's set the tone here. Hi, loves. I see you guys joining. Yay! I'm so happy to have you. We're gonna talk about our galactic family. We're gonna finish the chat from yesterday. It was an awesome live. Thank you. I had so many messages. Sometimes I have the time to share things, and sometimes I just answer and it's hard to share. But I had so many amazing comments and feedback from you guys about the live and how helpful it was and how good it was. So I'm so glad, and I'm glad that the screen recording worked. We talked about some really good things. There was some interesting glitchy shit that happened, so we know we were on track. I'm gonna take that as confirmation from the universe that we were right there writing that line on the edge. So, all right, should we start this thing? Let's do it with the big galactic candle. Okay, so welcome everyone. This is the Moon Babes Monday Night Live. It's Sonia G, and we're gonna chat about the galactic family tonight. We're gonna answer questions from yesterday's mini training. We're gonna talk about the new moon in Taurus coming up, and we're gonna talk about all sorts of energy things that are happening right now in our world, okay? So stay tuned, let's begin. Let's light up our big galactic candle. That's seriously what it reminds me of. It smells so amazing. It smells like myrrh and frankincense. Whew. It also burns my fingers. So take a deep breath. Exhale. Set an intention. Allow the fire to spark this intention. Breathe in one more time. Hold the breath in your heart. Hold it. Connect to who you are, to the truth of who you are, and then exhale. And then inhale again. And this time, as you inhale and go into your heart, think about why you're here. Think about if there are things that you would like to get answers to, if there are things that you have been wondering about and are looking to receive guidance on or clarity on, okay? And set that intention that the guidance, the clarity will come for you tonight. We're gonna clear the space with a little bit of incense. Oh, it smells amazing. And then, it didn't stay lit. And we are going to get grounded really quick together, okay? So, because we have to practice doing this every day. So just in case, if by chance you didn't do this today, okay? You ready? Let's do this together. Rub your hands together. Take a deep breath in. Close your eyes. Press the palms together. Bring them to prayer pose. Exhale. Inhale into your heart. Hold the breath here. And then exhale down to your feet. All the way to your toes, all the way to your feet. Inhale again one more time. At your heart, exhale. This time, allow the energy to expand from your feet chakras through to the highest available frequency on the grid, okay? On the high vibrational grid on planet Earth to you as you exhale. Go all the way out. Plug into the new Earth grid. Don't go to the 5D, go to the higher frequencies because the 5D grid got hacked, okay? So inhale into the heart. Exhale down. And connect your light. Don't be scared. You don't need to be scared. You just need to go light to light. You need to direct mentally that your light, command, demand, set the intention that your light is going to go and connect to the highest frequency available for you. That's it. Okay? Then you don't have to worry about it. And that you are supported, and that these are the new earth frequencies, the highest frequencies available to you. Good job. Okay, inhale into the heart. Exhale all the way down, down through the layers of the earth. Go all the way down, 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 down to the heart of Mother Earth. Go hang out with the fairies and the devas and the crystal kingdom and all the magic of Mother Earth. Inhale again. Exhale, find yourself fully landed. Connect to the heartbeat of Mother Earth. Connect heart to heart. And then inhale that love and that support back up. Feel it all the way up. Breathe it. Like if you don't hear your breath, you're not breathing hard enough, okay? Really use your breath to pull the energy of the earth, of the love of the earth up so that you can sink at your heart. Now you're heart to heart with the energy of Mother Earth. And then inhale up behind your eyes. At your third eye, set the intention to activate your intuition, to activate your third eye, to activate your ability to see beyond obstacles, challenges, anything that's coming up your way, doubts, fears, any of that. Set the intention to receive clear visions, clear answers, clear guidance, next step right there in front of you, being made clear, okay? And then inhale up, connecting to your higher self. So go up through your crown chakra, connecting up to the heavens, your chakra pillar, your pillar of light, and then inhale that light down. Connecting higher self, heart to heart, okay? Embodying more and more of your soul light, bringing it into the body, bringing it into your heart. And then here you are, finding that connection between heaven and earth in your heart. Here we are. Hi, loves. Welcome to the Moon Babes Monday Night Live. I'm Sonia G. I'm so happy to have you here. We're going to talk about our galactic family. We're going to talk about our galactic energy. We're going to talk about what's happening with the astrology, the shifts that are coming this week. This is a major, powerful week, and I'm going to answer any questions, okay? So let's start with where we kind of left off yesterday with the live. So what's happening now with the galactic situation, okay? And there's a lot of people that are receiving information in a lot of different ways. And this is something that I see from all over, from Australia. I know we have like UK, we have Canada, we have like everyone on here. Love, love, love. I'm so excited, the whole world coming together. So the thing that's happening right now is that everyone is learning, hopefully, one way or another, that you are energetic beyond the physical body, okay? And when you learn that and you discover that, then you begin to like tap into alternate possibilities, alternate energy than the energy that is residing in your body. So all of a sudden there's all sorts of people channeling, right? Like there's a lot of people channeling, and I get asked this question a lot, like, how do you know? How do you know if people are like on point? How do you know if they're not? Like, what's going on? There's information, there's misinformation. There's also like specific disinformation campaigns that are happening out there, okay? So the way that you know is you learn how to do it for yourself. You learn how to navigate your own energy so strongly that you can tell. It doesn't mean that you have to be able to channel or read energy or know, like, what other people, but it means that you can tell because you're so much in your truth and so much in your power. You resonate so much with who you are that if the person that you're listening to resonates with you, then they're part of your same vibe. They're part of your same line. They're jiving, right? Your pillars over here, their pillars over here. You guys are like on the parallel, you're resonating. It's that same frequency. But if you are resonating this way and there's somebody here channeling sideways, right? You're going to be like, this is not in alignment. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're going to feel it and you're going to know inside, this ain't resonating. I don't care what you're saying or how cool it is or how fabulous or how awesome it sounds. This doesn't sound like the truth. So the way that you know it is to bounce it off of yourself, okay? Like radar, like sonar. Like when you have, when you work with your energy, I'm trying to say this in a way that's very tangible. You know your energy pillar, chakras, right? Your pillar of light. When you're so strong in that, that connects you between heaven and earth. That's like the essence of who you are. And it runs your energy. That's like your voltage. That's like your dial. That's your frequency. This is your radio station, okay? It's your pillar of light, which we envision it here through our head and through our chakras. But in reality, it's like, it's huge, okay? We take up a lot more room. Like, auras are like 6 to 8 feet, you know, sometimes bigger. That's why we pick up stuff all the time. So, but when your core, your resonant energy right here is so strong and you're so plugged into who you are and you're in your truth, then you will only resonate with your truth. But if you're in doubt, if you're confused about who you are, about what you're doing, yeah, maybe this is true, maybe this is not true, I don't know, right? Like when you start to navigate confusion, then you doubt, and doubt is of the devil. Okay? I think it's like, you know, it's easy said that way because, in fact, I'll tell you something about that that's very profound and that I learned. And this is something that comes from my days of like, I grew up in Christianity. I grew up in a Catholic country in Italy. And so there's a lot of Bible, references there. And not to say that it's good stuff, okay? I'm just saying that this is like a baseline reference. But in a lot of different sacred scriptures, it talks about confusion and doubt being of the devil. Why? Because the energy of confusion and the energy of doubt is like cracked, okay? It's not a whole. It's not a whole, it's not complete, it's not a decision, it's not truth, it's not a closed circuit, which means that whenever there's doubt, there's the possibility for all sorts of negativity to come in, penetrate it, and crack it, and bust it. Doesn't matter if it was 99% on point. If there's 1% chance that something can come in and mess with your energy, right? And mess with your thing and just like come in there. It's almost like your circle is almost all the way closed, but it's like there's some discarnate entity out there that's like, ooh, I can totally use, envision it like a drug. For them, it's like, I'm gonna get high on this human's, lack of decision-making skills, whatever. And they come and they siphon the energy out of it because they see a crack. And so they come in there and they're like, and then they take your energy out and you're like, I don't even know what I believe anymore. Like I thought I wanted this, but then it just kind of like got, right? And then it's out and then it's gone and your dream's gone and it crumbled. So doubt, okay? So it's really better when you don't know to just say, I don't know, I'm not gonna think about it until I'm ready to actually like do the thing, okay? So it's like, that's why procrastination is not very good because if you have it's like we say something is eating at you. Oh, it's eating at me. I haven't figured out what to do with it, right? Because it's literally eating your energy out. Like it's eating you, like it's just pulling on you. So you have to decide to pause it, which is a solid decision. It's like, you know what? I'm not ready to decide one way or another. Closed. Over here, filed, closed. There's no energy. There's no energy to be siphoned out of it because it's on pause. Then when you're ready to commit the time to look at it and say, okay, I'm gonna make a decision, you pick it back up and you're like, okay, what are we doing about it? Decide. Like be in your light. If you're not in your light and you're like, I still don't know what to do about it, put away, knowing that you'll come back to it when the time is right. There is so much power in that. If everyone learned how to live their life that way and to make decisions that way, power, right? Because then you don't have all these incomplete, sucking the life force out of you. And energy gets siphoned out of things. So that's the thing. Okay. So why are we talking about doubts? Because we're talking about channeling and we're talking about things that have to do with resonating with other people. So if you learn to be in your truth, okay, and you learn these skills to process through yourself, you have to become aware of who you are. And that's your number one thing. When you become aware of who you are, things shift. The more you know who you are, the more who you remember who you are, the truth of who you are beyond planet Earth, right? The truth of your soul and the light of your soul, then you're in your truth. The more you're in your truth, the more things flow to you that resonate with your truth. Okay, I hope this is making sense. So when you're in your truth, and you are listening to a broadcast, you're listening to somebody's channel, you're listening to whatever, even on TV. And if you know who you are and where you stand, you listen to the thing and you're like, not the thing. They're not telling it all. Sometimes there's truth and mixed in with other things, okay? Sometimes there's like mostly lies and some things will be truth. Doesn't mean that you don't, sometimes it's all, very much truth. The truth is a perspective of where you stand, okay? So there's various perspectives that you begin to climb. You begin to climb levels of yourself. And so when you're up here and all of a sudden you're working with the galactic family, right? You understand how the angels work. You understand how the chakras work. You understand how like all these things work. So from here, all these things make sense and you understand them and you have this perspective. But when you're here and you're looking up, you're like, I don't know how that works. So you only have your instincts to like figure that out. Does that make sense? So the truth of what you're experiencing is a function of your perspective of where you're at. This is why there's people that have like different opinions, different truths, and they're so convinced, right? Because like if you talk to me before I ever had the Pleiadians come and talk to me, for example, I'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like angels, they're great. They're my buddies. Like my grandma shows up over here. Ancestors come talk to me. Angels all day long. You're talking to who? Like the people of the stars that come talk to you in group consciousness? Are you losing your shit? Like that would have been me like years ago, right? Because that was my perspective. I seriously thought that, if you're going to come in and interact with the realms of earth, then you would be an angelic being. That's it. I didn't understand group consciousness until it happened to me. And I was like, what is that voice, right? Like, who are you? But at that point, I knew who I was to the point where I could then bounce it, right? So when you know who you are and you know where you stand, you know how to work with the energy, then you can begin to talk to these beings and these entities and these groups or filter the content that's coming at you. It's the same thing, right? A channeling. And then you can be like, whoa, 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 right? So, it's always a function of perspective, and the truth is the truth of where you are and the level at which you're perceiving it at. So this is why it's really hard to judge. This is why the Bible and all the texts say don't judge, right? Because you never know. You never know the situation of another person. So that's that. What is group consciousness? Very good question. So group consciousness is what we're all beginning to learn here on Earth, is the fact that we are actually all connected. However, before we get into that, there are beings, star beings, okay, alien beings, but we call them star beings because they're the beings that live on the stars. That's what they like to be called. They're lit, for example, on Venus, right? Sister to Earth. On Venus, we have the Pleiadians. The Pleiadians are a more evolved civilization than the humans. So they work as a group consciousness. Like multiple of them can link up and work in unison. They have one mind, one voice, but they're in different bodies, but they work in a function of a group, and they're all connected. They're telepathic. They're all, on the same frequency, all on the same vibe. Here on Earth, and when they speak as a group. Like it's one voice, but it's like an echo voice. Like it's like more of like a group voice. And so here on Earth, we're learning that we're all connected, and holy shit, I'm responsible, right? For the collective. I am responsible for all the things that are happening. I'm not like this separate being, right? We're experiencing separations, but we're really all connected. So that's what group consciousness is. You're welcome, loves. Okay, I'm glad that was helpful. What is race mind then? If by that you mean like people, like different cultures, that's a thing. Okay, so this is a good question. So cultural on Earth, we all come from different bloodlines. Okay, this is a big subject right now because we're all having to clear that stuff. If you haven't done it yet, it's coming up for you right now. Like it's like next on the list. Okay, so you don't mean that. Tell me what you mean. Okay, what is race mind then? But let me just finish this conversation in the meantime. So when it comes to bloodline and like for example, the Asians and the Native Americans and the African Americans, right? And the Europeans. Like, there's different history that goes into those people, those cultures, and what the experience was of the people back in the days, and it comes through the bloodline. So it's in your bloodline, right? This is why there's people that are feeling things that are like, where is this coming from? It's a programming, and the programming comes from the bloodline, okay? Because it's just like genetics. Just like you inherit genes, you inherit like, oh, you have this gene, like you are prone to developing diabetes, whatever, right? Or whatever it is, you say, no, thank you. Or you are prone to feeling discriminated against. No, thank you. Like, you have to reroute your genes. You have to reorganize your genes. Okay, so let me go back to the question. Fear is operating currently in the mind. Oh, fear mind then. So the fear is, that's the animal side of the human being, like, to say it very, non-technically. So it's the fight or flight. That's your fear response. That's your survival mode. That's the part of you that clicks in that tells you run for your life, right? That's the part that tells you, like, you're not liking this stuff, like what you're seeing, so run the other way. That's the thing that tells you to pull your hand out from something that burns you, like on the stove. But you have to learn how to disengage. You have to learn how to work. It's like a pre-programmed behavior. It's like I'm going to go back to the Bible a lot today. In the Bible, that's called the natural man. In the Bible, like in there's a lot of really good shit. It's just gotten like cut and twisted and like, there's things in there. But if you look at it with like an inspired perspective and you know enough to be like, whoa, they were saying it back then, right? So the natural man, so the man without the eternal infinite being occupying the body, so the physical suit, right? It's wired in a particular way. It's wired with animal instincts. Like, we are inhabiting a physical body. The physical body has like an autonomic response system. Like, you blink and you don't think about it, right? Like, your heart beats and you don't think about it. It's kind of like that. So you have to learn how to function, and how to direct your body. You're like the driver of your energy in your body. So, okay, so I hope this is helping. What is the bloodline? The bloodline is where you come from. It's your ancestors, okay? And that's a big deal right now. So definitely one to Google. Okay, that's like all of the family history, the trees, whatever. There's a bunch of stuff online that tell you where you come from and where your blood lineage is from. That's a big deal. That basically tells you a lot of things of why you feel the way that you feel, right? Like, you have certain instincts inside of you, and it's things that have been passed down from generation to generation. Like, blood retains information and it gets passed down through our DNA, through our cells. And so this is where our stuff comes from. Okay. Could I have been of another race in a past life in human form? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. For some reason, my Instagram does not work. I will upload videos to YouTube as I'm able to. Absolutely. All the time. I just found you today, sending high vibrations from Oregon. Hi, love. Welcome. Shine brightly. I love that. Okay. I don't know if I've missed any other questions. So, such a great way to look at it and explain it. Good. Okay. Still in the uncertainty. Okay. So get out of the uncertainty. Do the work to get out of the uncertainty. Fear is dancing with the devil. That's a good way of saying it. Okay. So if you guys have questions, I'll start paying attention, okay? Reptilians, what do I think? Reptilians are real, reptilians are bad, and the reptilians are good. So to all races, they just kind of really look yucky. So even if you have a good one that shows up, you're like, you kind of look like a snake a little bit. Like, it's a little trippy. But there are good ones. So it goes back to the wars in the heavens, okay? And this is something that we go deeply into in the Metaphysical Mastermind, because our lineage, our bloodline, okay, goes beyond. Like, here on Earth, we have 12 tribes. We have 12 main characteristics of people, of bloodlines, okay? Everything on Earth is ruled by the number 12. It's like part of the coding. So there's like a particular coding system that holds together all this, the matrix, what we know as the matrix of Earth, which some of it's good, some of it's bad, as we know, right? The blueprint, let's put it this way. The bad stuff is called the matrix. Now it's now known as the matrix. But the codes by which Earth operates is called the divine blueprint, right? We call it the original divine blueprint. And that has to do with coding too. So good coding, bad coding, okay? Like structures. So what was the question? I forgot. Oh, reptilians. How did we get here? Wow, I just totally lost like train of thought. So I don't know where I was going. Well, this is what I can tell you. The reptilians have a beginning portion of the history that has to do with the Earth. So this goes back like eons and eons of years. This goes back to like Star Wars in heaven, right? Lately I've been referencing a lot of Star Wars because it's the closest thing that we have to an understanding of the galaxy and what happened in the galaxy, okay? But the reptilians actually had a big part in the creation of Earth. But some people go bad, some people go good. There's always a distortion, okay? So a lot of them are involved in the dysfunction, which became the matrix. And, and the government and all of that stuff. But a lot of them also work for good. Like for every culture, just like the race of the humans, right? In general, there's the good guys and there's the bad guys. That's the same for all of the different star races out there. So totally Star Wars. Yes. Thank you, loves. Oh, I'm so glad that this is resonating. Okay. Do things come up as they need to be cleared? Absolutely, yes. Sometimes I feel like I need to pull things out to move forward from them. So this is a good point, Shay. Anytime you embody a higher piece of your soul, so the work that we're doing, this reconciliation with who we are as part of our galactic family of light, which brings us to the truth of who we are beyond Earth, beyond our jobs on Earth, which are really not our jobs. Like our jobs are really just like a functionality of what we need to do here. We're here for the ascension job. Our other job, our day job, that's not the real job. That's the side job. Okay, remember that. Your occupation on Earth is a side gig. Okay, your full-time occupation is that of emitting your own frequency and of embodying your soul and ascending your body, turning it into the light body. That's your main deal. Okay, so as you are, let me see. Why am I like pulling things out? Okay, that's what we were talking about. So as you pull down more pieces of your soul, okay, as you embody more of your light, more of your soul, the frequency of your soul is higher than that which you embody physically. So every time you pull down higher energy, light is shed somewhere, and so it shakes things up, which means that a wound needs to be cleared, right? For like more room. You have to release the wounds in order for the light to come in. The wounds and the stuck and the traumas and the things and the hurts and the pains, they vibrate dense. They vibrate low. They're like the balls and the chains. It's like, oh, I keep this around, right? The torment of our souls, the betrayals, the whatever it is that you're holding on to, the judgments, the envies. I don't know, like this person did this to me. Oh my God, I'm sorry, but like my Italian people, man, like the family shit. Their uncle and aunt did not talk. They did not come to my birthday. We do not talk to that family. That kind of shit, okay? And they hold these family grudges forever. Please be done with them. They are not inconsequential, okay, to the big picture. And they just hold stress and fear and junk and density inside of your body, which means that the light can't come in, okay? Which is why forgiveness is preached in a lot of different enlightenment practices, because forgiveness brings you more light, okay? And so the more light you want to bring, okay, we're back. The more you have to let go of, and the light comes in. So I don't know why we're having connection issues, but hopefully that helps. So yes, things do need to come up as they need to be cleared. Absolutely. And the key is if they come up, deal with them. Do not ignore the things, or they come back and they come back a million times and they come smack into your face and they're harder than ever. So listen, right? Listen to the nudgings of the soul. Okay. Love how casual you are about the gnosis of cosmology. Yeah, well, you know, like people make it really complicated. So this is a thing that, let me just put my thing on. One sec, put a pause on there. So people make it really complicated because they're like, oh, and I know these things and I am therefore really fabulous and amazing and I speak with big fucking words and therefore you don't understand, you know, whatever. It's bullshit. Everything is energy. Like, it doesn't have to be hard. The important part is that we all understand it. Like, we're kind of needing to be beyond that. Like, you know, I speak cooler words than you or whatever, you know, like making it, there's a lot of people that like to make it complicated. And yes, there's a point to using specific words that you need to understand what they mean because they mean a certain things, right? When we say the word quantum, that's a complicated word, but it renders a specific concept. So there's things that you need to know, but there's a way of expressing them that's like, you guys feel my energy on it. Like, it doesn't have to be hard, and we all need to understand it. So that's like a big thing that I stand by, right? And I say it in a lot of my courses, I've said it from the beginning. You know, this stuff doesn't have to be complicated. Energy is energy, and we all speak energy. Like, we really all do. So that's, you know, that's where I come from. The more people understand this stuff and the more simple and tangible we make it instead of philosophizing the shit out of it, right? Like, that's where we come from. Like, look up at the sky, like talk to the stars. They will move for you. They will talk to you. They will tell you things and you will know things. It's just that nobody really says, you know, do this stuff. So I like to make it very practical. So I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Okay. Yeah. Sonia, can I do work at this time for siblings that I can't contact? Young kids, teenagers, extra protective work for them who don't have access to guidance right now. Absolutely. So here's the thing, and I'm going to answer it in a way, and I'm going to answer this question, Kia, so thank you for asking, in a way that answers a lot of questions for a lot of people, because I get asked questions a lot, like, can I do this, or is it okay to do this, okay? And so the way that I want you to think of it is go inside, okay? When you think, what can I do, right? Go inside and say, how can I do this? Because if it's on your mind, if it's on your heart, it's coming to you for a reason, right? And if you feel strongly about it, then how? How can I do it? How can I show up for this thing that I feel strongly about? So you absolutely can. And then if you start asking yourself the questions of, how can I do this? What kind of skills do I have? What kind of skills can I receive in this moment? Because always remember that when you are in service of others, extra sensory gifts will come. All the time, okay? If you are showing up for family, for friends, for people in need, in service, you will receive the knowledge that you need because you are a vehicle. You're like a thorough, like it's coming through you for someone else. And that's just one of the rules, okay? So you can always wrap people in white light. You can send them healing. You can send them angels. Whatever it is that you do, know that you're doing it and believe that you're doing it. And then it really works. Clear out the doubts, right? Figure out what it is that you feel like you can do. And the things that you think instinctively, like, I'm just going to visualize them being safe. I'm going to visualize them being like in a place where they're, you know, happy and in a magical, you know, forest, whatever, like feeling happy, dancing around, surrounded by angels, understood, fed, you know, clothed, feeling good. Like, that stuff works because you're putting it out there. So however it works for you, you can absolutely do that. So, and you have to learn, we all have to learn to listen to those nudgings, to do the things that we're guided to do. So signed up for light work full time. Otherwise you wouldn't be on earth. So yes, the Lucidity Code. Absolutely. Ears have been ringing. Yep. You're tuning in to the new frequencies. Absolutely. I'm a funny one. Thank you. Yeah, you have to like get used to this. It's a different kind of humor. But hey, if you if it resonates with you, welcome to the tribe, right? Like I say it like it is. So that's kind of, thank you, I needed to hear this. Okay, I'm so glad. After we ascend, then what? What happens to Earth? Good questions. Okay, so after we ascend, we're gonna get to hang out a little bit on Ascended Earth, which is nice. Like we're gonna get to have like a little vacay time. You know, like my guides actually tell me that now. They're like, remember that you're on vacation on Earth. Enjoy your time. Because if you guys were to remember the truth of who you are and how huge and how infinite you are on the other side, we have glimpses of these experiences, right? Sometimes like I have these remembrances and I plug into who I was, you know, in the universe and the galaxy, and you're like, whoa, that's like overwhelming. You can only hold the light of your soul for, you know, a certain amount of time because it's so much. And so you have so much going on and so much knowledge, so much infiniteness. It's hard to grasp it here in the human mind. But when you're here and you don't remember everything, you know how we say like ignorance is bliss, like there's a lot to that, because you're just like, oh my gosh, I can just enjoy, you know, a moment outside and Earth, you know, on Earth without thinking about, you know, all of the galactic wars between, you know, the good guys and the bad guys outside of Earth and like all of this shit that's happening. Like, it is blissful to be able to do that. It is like, you know, a little mini vacation. So after that, our soul, and this is a good thing for a lot of people that are like, I'm gonna sleep when I'm dead. No, you won't, okay? Like it's a thing after thing after thing. We are, our soul, the biggest thing is, let's go back to the whole, you know, big beginning. So at the very beginning of time, back a long, long time away, when there was no time and the universe decided to experience itself, everything was about experiencing one consciousness. And for one consciousness and oneness to experience itself, it had to split. This duality was formed, okay? And so in this, like, hey, first comes awareness, then comes the separation, right? Because it's like you have to create an experience. In order to create an experience for yourself, you have to have something to bounce off of. So the positive and the negative polar opposites started. And so when you're just the oneness, you want to experience yourself being something other than the oneness. So then you create a realm, like a mirror realm, where you can experience certain things. And then out of that, you know, you have to create a physical world. This is literally 1D, 2D, and 3D, okay? You create a physical dimension where you can experience these different situations so that the soul, the intelligence of your soul, can grow. Like, what else can I be? What else can I do? What else can I grow, okay? So our soul continues to evolve. And then when you're done with the ascension job on Earth and you go over to the other side, it's like, okay, what's next? Because trust me, when you know all things and you're plugged into all of the isness, like you're there for a while. I don't know, maybe even a millennia, but then you're like, okay, my soul wants to grow, right? One of the things I used to say when I was a little kid all the time that my mom is like, what the... I would say all the time, like, because my parents switched religions and they became from Christian, they went to, not Christian, from Catholic, they went to LDS. And LDS, they talk about how you live for eternity after, right? And so my mom would always talk about this eternity thing. And I would always say, like, Mom, like, happiness, oneness, and eternity. And I was like, Mom, do you know how boring it is to live forever in oneness? I would tell her that all the time as like a little kid. And she's like, what are you talking about? But that's the whole thing. And now when I go back to that, right, it's exactly how it is. Because once you're experiencing nothing in your flatline, there's no good, there's no bad, there's no adrenaline rush, there's no, like, everything just is. It's the isness, right? You can rest there for a little bit and it's really nice. And we totally experience that when we astral travel. But then like you do it for growth, right? Then you're ready for your next adventure. It's kind of like right now when you're in quarantine, this is a bad example, but like a lot of people are bored, right? You don't ever want to be bored. That's the point. It's the same thing. You have like, everything is just like, well, I can't do anything because it's the isness. You're just being. And then after a while, you're like, I want to learn something new. I want to grow. I want to stretch. You have that feeling like you just want to reach and you want to experience something else. It's like, I want to experience birthing a galaxy. I want to experience creating a universe. Like, I don't know, what kind of cool adventure are you going to be up for next? So that's really the thing. Also here, what we're doing here on Earth, it's a part of what we're doing. We're currently doing many other things on many other places, okay? We're one of our own avatars. So, and this stuff is all starting to integrate with you guys. So me telling you this may be like, what? But then you'll be like, wait, she said, so yeah. Okay. I hope that this is making sense. Been screaming, everything is energy since the womb. It really always is. You are honestly the hero of this. You're so funny, Kit. I love you. Okay, intuition knows. Yes, yes. Sasha, I just found you, and now seeing and hearing you for the first time, I'm in heaven. Thank you. I am so glad. So many of you recently jumped on to the tribe, and I am so glad. Like when I get these messages, and I've been getting them a lot, so welcome. I'm so excited. When you find me, it's because you've heard enough and you're ready for this next level of stuff, right? So, and I'm really clear about that. There's a lot of people talking about a lot of things, but my job is very specific, and it has to do with, you know, the astral realm and the integration of the higher self and the galactic family and the star seeds and all the people that have particular gifts, the healers, the psychics, like all the people that have the gifts, right? This is my job. This is what I'm here for. This is what I'm here to support, empower, and hold space for. And I've gone through that path in a really weird time, in a really weird way, but you know, now it all makes sense why I went through all of that stuff and how I had to learn the things that I've learned and why I had to come from a bloodline. Like, you know, I'm the only person in my family that 16 years old is like, I just knew I had to move to the United States. And everybody's like, you're 16. What are you doing? Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. And I told my parents, like my parents were like, you're crazy. You're 16. You don't speak English. And I said, talk to God about it. Talk to God and God will tell you. And good thing they're religious people to the point that they were like, oh my God, God agrees with you. I was like, I know, because this is what I have to do. So it's been interesting, but it made sense to me because the knowledge that I have literally in my blood and because of where I was born and the conditioning that I grew up with allowed me to understand all of the shit show that's happening now with the garbage behind the scenes of the governments, right? Because I grew up in the mix of all that. And I grew up protesting. I grew up in like a different, it's almost like a different time because Italy as a country is different. But then I knew I had to be here in the US because otherwise I wouldn't have had freedom of speech to a certain point because now we're getting censored and things. But you know, there's different things. Like if you go back to Italy, for example, some of the things that we watch in the US are completely censored. Like they would not be allowed at all. Like there's complete censorship. So it's just, you look back and like all the things make sense. So I had to go through a series of things and situations to figure some things out. And so now I'm like, okay, I know how to help you through that. I know how to help you through that. Like it was really a wide range of things. So, and the good news is that now it's so much easier because the energy changed, right? So it's a lot easier for us to get to where we're going this way. So, so anyways, that's a long story to say, welcome, I got you. I know that if you're here, I've learned this. If you're here, there's a reason, and you're coming up on some really cool new stuff. So, all right. Carrie says, I'm just loving how many people are saying they just found you. Yeah, and I feel it because I feel, so Carrie, everybody that's meeting Carrie is my admin babe, so she helps me. If you ever do any of like my courses or things, you'll work with Carrie in lots of different things. And so I tell Carrie all the time, I feel like I'm stretching. I feel like energetically I can hold like more space. I can hold more healing. I can hold more miracles. I can stretch. I literally, this is my work, is I hold the tribe. I really do. And that's why a lot of you feel it. Like you feel like you're held because I feel it so strongly that this is my mission, right? And this is what I'm here for. And there are certain things that I feel responsible to do energetically. And so it's, you know, when you learn to just trust your mission and trust how to show up, then I've seen that, you know, when the people need to find me, they do. And so I'm excited. And when I see chunks of you coming, I'm like, here's new level, here's new people, here's, you know, new things that are going to be needing to for me to stretch, to hold more, to love more, to pull more light and more space. So yes. All right. Tribe sister, I love you guys. My life has completely changed. I randomly caught a live and I'm so glad I did. Oh, I'm so glad. Okay. So happy I caught this. You guys, you're going to make me cry now. Okay. Alyssa, I found her so I could step into my light. My life was so dark, off track. Oh, you guys, I am seriously, I can't even get enough of these comments, but like, I want to be sure that I answer your questions. I love you all. Can we talk about the 5D, 7D, 9D? So let's do the quick run through because Emily, you're in the Sacred Chakras journey. This is so, I mean, not in the Sacred Chakras. Emily is in the Metaphysical Mastermind. Okay, you guys know that this is like the last few days of enrollment being open for the Metaphysical Mastermind. So Emily, you're in the Metaphysical Mastermind and we're talking about the dimensions on Thursday. But this is what happens in a more galactic way. This is what happens to all the people that are in my higher level courses is they understand that like they can't get enough of it. And so everybody's like, oh my gosh, when are we doing the new module? When are we doing the new thing? Right? It's like let's get everything. So we're going to go through this in detail on Thursday. But the short version of it is that the 5D is the new Earth. That's where the grid was, but it got infiltrated. And by the way, there's a few light workers that have put out different reports, and they're saying different people are saying they're different entities. It's not so much about who infiltrated it. The part that should be worrying you, the part that is important is what you do with your own energy in order to function, right? When the grid is infiltrated. So worry about the fact that you want to keep your energy clean. You want to keep the energy of your house clean. You want to keep the energy of your family clean. That's the part. Not so much is it these guys, right? Which group is it? There are people, like if you feel called to figure that stuff out and to fight the fights, I mean, I'm right there with you and I will fight all those fights and I go and clear out the grids and do all that stuff. But generally speaking, unless you really feel called to fight that fight, the important part is for you to connect to the highest vibrational energy that's available to you, okay? So the 5D is where the new Earth will manifest, and this is where the battle is being fought now because the 3D grid collapsed. So now everybody's like fighting the fight on 5D. So 5D is that level of where we connect telepathically and the oneness, okay? 6D is sacred geometry, 7D is sound, and 8D is where we connect. You know those images where we have like, people talk about the Taurus field. I'm like swimming. The Taurus field, where people talk about the Taurus field in the, of the apple and of different things like the energy lines of your aura. You can look it up. Anyways, that's 8D, where you're plugged into everything, where your aura is like, whoo, and you're receiving information out of everything when you realize that your energy is all up here and you're tapped into all the things. 9D is the realm of creation. 9D is where when you reach and tap into the 9D, you can actually create a whole new 1D, 2D, 3D. Okay. And then you go all the way up and then you get to like 12, 13. And then you're dealing with like that God, like creator, prime creator energy. There's many different gods, like all the mythology would tell us back in the days. But the point is, prime creator energy is right up there. And then there's different for every timeline, everything. There's like breakdowns for things. So we simplify this as much as we can because our minds have to learn to grasp it, right? To do the mental gymnastics, to weave through the dimensions and through the things and through all the layers. So yeah. Okay. I love to hear about your life. Oh, you're so cute. Well, I hope it helps. At first I was like, who cares? Like, these are my crazy ass experiences. But then I'm like, wait, like if I feel like there's a way that it can help, that it can resonate, that it can give you an idea that you're not alone in dealing with the shit, then I will tell you all my stories. So, absolutely. My son says he's had nightmares about a white room of nothingness and how much he doesn't just want to do that. Yeah. So like after a while you get bored, right? Like you don't want to do that. So, we have been in heaven for, you guys are so cute. I love you. Andromedan, who is calling out Andromedan? That would be my people. Okay. Love. I'm trying to see if there's any questions. So I'm skimming through. You really cleared my whole life up when I watched your video sharing your story. So, oh, I'm glad. Maybe I need to I don't know. Maybe one day we'll just do like a Q&A about you guys can ask me anything you want about my story and see if it will help you. Let's talk about things that are happening this week and then we'll wrap this up. Yeah. So we have a new moon in Taurus happening on, I believe it's Wednesday. I know that on Moonbabe Society, we're doing our meditation Wednesday. So generally it's right around that time. So we're doing a new moon meditation. It's a new moon in Taurus, and the moon in Taurus is ruled by Venus. So this is this is a belief shift for everyone, okay? Remember that Earth and Venus are sister planets. They literally dance together through the cosmos. Okay, we're rotating around in the galaxy. We're intertwined in a spiral, which is why the Pleiadians, which live on Venus, are so intertwined with us, because we're connected. We're really all connected, with all the family of the cosmos. But specifically, they're our first cousins, our first relatives, right? That's Pleiadians. So this is the fact that Venus rules. Venus, Taurus, it's all about values, belief systems, beauty, the things that we deem important. So it's about to shift. It's a new beginning of what people feel like is important. And I'll tell you what's important is knowing how to run your energy. Happiness and health is definitely the new wealth, hands down. If you guys know, I don't do things unless I am in alignment. It's just, once you learn that and you learn how important it is to get your energy running and to feel good, I don't go to the store. I don't go and it's pointless to do things if you are not feeling you're in alignment, you're in that place of creation where you're creating your reality. Otherwise, what you do is you go out there and you're responding. You're in responding mode to reality. I'm not saying that's realistically for everyone all the time. I've practiced this a really long time, but it's intentional, okay? So you get there. You get to the point where you're give me 10 minutes and then I'll do this, right? You get in charge of yourself. And that's really, really important. And a lot of people are going to learn that. It's oh, hey, those self-development skills, those healer skills, that's so much more important than all this other dramas and, created on Earth, we've created a lot of problems in order to create solutions to the problem. It's this system of structures that it's let's create a problem by telling people they're not good enough and therefore they need this. And then we will put this shit in there, whatever, to make them feel like shit. And then we'll give them this medicine as a result of whatever. Don't get me started on the conspiracy theory stuff. That's a whole other conversation. But the point is, the gauge of what's important is shifting, right? You're not going to be watching stupid reality TV shows. You're going to be watching the History Channel and learning about the ancient aliens and the shit that actually happened in our world. I'm just saying, it's different. It's changing. Not that anybody here was probably watching reality TV shows or TV in general, because that's not a good thing, but that's, I'm saying the world in general is shifting to an understanding that, hey, that's not the stuff that matters. Let's not worry about what the celebrities are doing. Let's worry about who we actually are, that kind of stuff. So a lot of that is shifting. A lot of what's important is shifting. Family values are shifting, right? So there's a lot of good things that are happening out of this disastrous situations. And this is one of them. So we're going to have that big shift with the new moon. Make sure you set intentions. Set intentions. Your intentions is what carries you, literally your energy line forward. And then for real intention, not, I kind of wish that maybe this year I find the person of my dreams. I don't know, whatever. You're ooh, universe with every cell inside of my body, right? This is what I want. This is what I desire. This is what I want it to feel like. This is what I want it to look like. This is what I intend to create in my life. Mean it like that. You feel that? That energy? It's not yeah, this sounds good. No, it's you have to want it, right? Those are intentions that you vibrate so far out into the universe that the universe is I heard you, here it is. So that's what you want to do. New moon. And then on Saturday, on this weekend, we have Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn. So this is going to be the emotional, this is where you want to remember who you are. Like if you do anything like this new moon, and I'm laughing, but it's really not funny. You want to remember who you are. Write yourself a 3x5 card, okay, and put it on your mirror where you brush your teeth, and write a note to yourself about how amazing you are, about how many things you have conquered, about how much cool shit you've done, and how cool you are, and how awesome you are, and how all of the things that are amazing about you. Write yourself a note about that, okay? Because when things fall apart, and they continue to fall apart, and emotionally you feel like, oh my gosh, right? You have to remember who you are. You have to remember how strong you are. You have to summon your courage. And that's kind of it's kind of like that. A lot of people are going to be like, oh my God, I can't handle anymore, right? It's going to be that straw. We do not break. We get more powerful, okay? So you have to know that when you know that things are coming and then shit hits the fan, you're like, I'm going to remind myself, affirmation, 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 right? It's like a war. You have to fight it in your mind. So many times I do recordings all the time. I do meditations all the time. In every single one of my courses, there's meditations that tell you how cool you are, all the things that are awesome about you. It's a thing. You have to remind yourself because we're in a human experience, and so we forget. And then we have a society that tells us how shitty and non-essential people are. That term, holy shit. Let's not even get started. Okay. So my last intentions came, boom, new moon was powerful. Yes, intentions with the moon are a big deal. So biggest news flash, there is a unified field of love, which underlies all of reality. They won't tell you that on CNN. Can we have our own news flash? That's awesome. Thank you. I know. They won't say anything that really actually matters. They just come up with a bunch of stuff to make everybody feel like shit. And then it's all just fake and it's all, whatever. We're still playing in this video game that they create, but it's about to be by our rules. So we have to really tip it and shift it. So great news reporter. My type of news, Galactic fam. I love it. You have answered some extremely deep questions I have had. Oh God. Yay. I'm so excited. Her courses, meditations are the best. Yay. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Okay. So remember, we have it's 2.5 days left for the Metaphysical Mastermind. This is a course that I created that I am stretching beyond to hold as many of you as possible and teach you these next level healing things where you can actually implement these tools and feel amazing. It's a course where you feel it. Some people have emailed me and they're like, I wasn't ready when you first opened it. I didn't feel like I could handle the energy of this course, but now I've done work. And so now I can jump in because it is a lot. If you read it, you're like, oh, this is the mother load. And it really is. Okay. So it really is. But it will shift you. You will not be the same person. You will integrate higher selves. You will integrate past lives. You will integrate knowledge that comes from ancient times. You will learn how to apply these things that we talk about, of how to run your energy and how to do these things and how to apply symbols and sacred geometry and work with your family. You will learn your galactic lineage. It's amazing. And we're out of time, of course. So yes. Carrie is saying, check out the Moon Babes and the Light Tribe Facebook group to meet up and make connections. So absolutely do that. And then go to my website for all the resources. If you're new, there's also a free course too. There's all sorts of stuff. And if you feel the call, check out the Metaphysical Mastermind, okay? It's moonbabetribe.com, www.moonbabetribe.com. And here on Instagram, it's at Moonbabes and the Light Tribe, and you find the link in my bio. I love you guys. I'm so happy we did this. Mwah. Message me if you have questions. Bye, Galactic fam. Love you.